All right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome in. My name is Alexis Miller. I'm one of the yoga instructors here for Yoga for Caregivers. This is our weekly stretch session where we focus on getting into our bodies, stretching ourselves out, and getting us ready for the rest of our day and the rest of our week. So, as we move through practice today, keep in mind your boundaries and notice where you're ready to extend into postures, where do you need to modify and come down to the mat, or perhaps find your center posture. Also, keep in mind that I don't often cue water. So, if and when you feel thirsty, of course, please feel free to step off your mat, grab that drink, and then join us whenever you feel ready. So, with all of that being said, let's go ahead and come into a comfortable seat, whether your legs are crossed or straight out in front of you. You can be on a prop like a block or simply down on your mat. We're going to wiggle back and forth, rooting into our sits bones, and we'll sit up nice and tall. Let's inhale as we draw the shoulders forward and up, and then exhale as we drop them back and down. Inhale, shoulders come forward and up. Exhale, they come back and down. Nice work. Hands find a comfortable position, whether on your knees, palms up or down, or in your lap. You're welcome to close the eyes if that feels comfortable, knowing that my eyes will remain open and that you can also just find an unmoving point and soften your gaze here today. This year, inspiration for our classes is drawn from the Native American medicine wheel based on Sun Bear's vision. The medicine wheel teaches us about movement and change and offers us insight that will help us learn and grow. The sturgeon is an interesting symbol for this time of year. Though it is incredibly strong and seems impervious to the perceptions of others, beneath its thick skin is a deeply loving and warm heart. Now is the time to lead from this place of vulnerability and oneness with others. Strength appears in many forms, a facade of which others will eventually see through. Leading from the heart allows you to be resilient when change arises on your journey. As you move through practice, notice how it might feel to put your heart first in different situations. How does the vulnerability feel to you? So, settling in, taking a deep inhale through the nose, filling your belly, lungs, and chest with air. And then slowly exhale your breath back out. Take a deep inhale, fill your belly, lungs, and chest with air. And then slowly exhale that breath back out. Take another deep inhale, feel your belly expanding outward and filling full of air. And then exhale, feel the belly button squeeze in toward the spine. Inhale as you feel your torso expand and your collarbones gently lift. And then exhale as you feel the shoulders release down and away from your ears. Inhaling air in through the nose, down the throat, filling your lungs. And then exhale as you gently squeeze that air out of the lungs, up your throat, and out your nose. Continue to breathe here for a few more moments, inhaling and exhaling with intention, noticing the movements of the breath. If your mind gets distracted, it wanders off on a thinking adventure. That is okay. The moment you've noticed you've gone away, see if you can turn the attention back to the breath, turn back to focusing on the inhales and the exhales. If it feels right for you, you can incorporate a mantra to help your mind stay focused and grounded right in this moment. Inhale, I can be. Exhale, vulnerable. Inhale, I can be. Exhale, vulnerable. remaining here with your breath in whatever way best supports you for just a few more moments here today. Take a nice deep inhale here, setting an intention or a purpose for your practice today, which really can be anything at all, but it often answers the question, why am I practicing yoga? Take a nice deep inhale here, feel your intention with the heart and mind. Exhale the breath out, set the intention off to the side, knowing we'll return to it toward the end of our practice. Nice. We're going to go ahead and remove any props that you may be using here. You can stay cross-legged or adjust your legs as you need. And we're going to inhale, sweep our arms wide, bring them up overhead, cast the gaze skyward, and then exhale, twist over to the left. Right hand to the left knee, left hand behind the body, curve your head around into a seated twist. Inhale as we return to center, the arms come tall. Exhale, twisting over to the right, left hand to the right knee, right hand behind the body, curving your head around into a seated twist. Inhale, returning to center, arms come tall. Exhale, twisting over to the left again. Really curve that nose around, feel that twist up into the neck. Good. Inhale up into center. Exhale, twisting over to the right, curving that nose around. Good. And then inhale, come on up into center. Exhale, drop those hands down. We're going to extend our feet out so they're at about a 45-degree angle. We're in a wide-legged stance now. Make sure that you're rooted down into your sits bones and your legs may be further open or shut, just depends on your anatomy here, okay? We're going to inhale as we sweep our arms tall, and then exhale, drop your left hand down to the top of the left leg, lean over to the left as you reach through those right fingers for a seated side bend. Now, we're not folding forward here over the leg. Instead, we're opening up the torso, stacking the shoulder here, reaching through those top fingers. Left hand can stay on top of the left leg or come to the inside of that right leg. And we're really feeling into that stretch in that right side body area. Yeah, we're feeling it right into the top of the hip and then maybe into that right side low back here. Let's take a couple deep breaths here together. And then inhale, go ahead, come up into center, reach both arms up tall. Exhale, bring that right hand down to the top of the right leg. And then exhale, lean over to the right here, reaching through those left fingers. Sorry about that. Coming into that seated side bend, opposite side. So again, we're not folding over, chest facing the leg, but instead chest is open here, shoulder is stacked. We're reaching through the left fingers. Right arm can be on top of that leg. It can also come down to the inside of that right leg. Notice what feels right for you here. And then really feeling into that pull on that left hand side here, into maybe that left low side body. Just depends on what's tight, what your anatomy is ready for, maybe needed a little extra love for. And let's take a couple deep breaths here together. Good. We inhale as we come back up into center. Nice work here. All right, bring those hands down onto the mat. And then we're going to exhale, walk our hands forward, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. Now, we have some options here. You can hang out here on the hands. You can also use a prop like a block underneath the forearms to help you get lower, or you can come straight down onto the forearms. Notice what feels right for you. Check in with the toes. If they're turning down to the mat, see if you can rotate them back up toward the sky. And that might require that you come up slightly so your legs, that hip and ball socket there, or that ball and joint socket here in your hip, can keep that open movement. We're really targeting the inside of our thighs here. So wherever you are, long spine, chin slightly tucked, looking down toward the floor, and let's breathe. All right, inhale, walk yourself on up into center. Now we're going to go ahead and target our hips now and our low back. So bring the soles of the feet together, allow the knees to fall out wide. Feet will be as close as you're able to get them to the hips, but it shouldn't be anything that causes strain. Everyone's anatomy is different, okay? We're going to wiggle back and forth and root into our sits bones. Then we'll sit up nice and tall. We're going to inhale as we lengthen through the spine. Exhale as we hinge at the hips and lean forward over the legs here, coming into this Y or this bound angle pose here today. Good. So as you lean forward, long spine, reaching through the crown of the head, chin slightly tucked, looking down toward the floor. So we're long through the neck here. Notice that stretch in the hips. So we're definitely feeling that big benefit of the posture. Another benefit of the posture is we're stretching out our low back. So even if it doesn't quite feel like it right in this moment, we are getting a nice stretch there because we're stretching out our hips. Hands can be on the feet or down on the mat. Notice what feels good for you. And then let's breathe here together. We inhale as we press on up into center and return here. Go ahead and sweep your feet around, coming into a tabletop position. So bring your hands beneath your shoulders, your knees beneath your hips, tops of the feet come down onto the mat. We inhale as we sink our bellies, lift our head and our hips, coming into cow. And then we exhale as we press the mat away, sink the head and the hips, coming into cat. Inhale into cow, sink the belly, looking up toward the sky. Exhale into cat, press the mat away, feel the shoulder blades separate here. Inhale into cow, squeeze the shoulder blades, looking up. Exhale into cat, look toward the knees, feel the pelvis move toward the chest. Good. And then inhale up into neutral. Nice work. On the next inhale, tuck the toes. On the exhale, lift the hips into a down dog. Now let's go ahead and find some movement here. Inhaling and exhaling as you bend one knee and then the other, opening up the backs of the legs here. Taking a nice deep inhale here. A nice deep exhale. Nice big inhale. And then exhale, come into stillness before dropping those soles of the feet down to the floor. So we're back in our tabletop position here. We're going to inhale, pick up our left foot, and then exhale, extend it out behind us, ball of the foot on the mat. We're then going to press into our hands as we spike that left heel away from the body, coming into this nice calf stretch. So we're long through the spine, no cow back here, but instead core is engaged, spine is long. We're looking down toward the floor. Shrug the shoulders down. Pressing into the hands, feel that heel spike away from the body. Notice if the hip is floating toward the sky, and if it is, go ahead and square it with the mat here. Good. Let's take a couple deep breaths here together. Inhale, we drop the knee back down to the mat. Good. On the next inhale, pick up that right foot, extend it straight out behind you, ball the foot on the mat, press into the mat as you spike those heels away, or that heel away, coming into that nice calf stretch on your right side. So again, shoulders shrug down, long spine, core gently engaged, looking down toward the mat. Nice. Elbow slightly bent. Spiking that heel, and notice, is the right hip floating up toward the sky? If it is, square it with the mat here so you get that nice full stretch in that right calf. Breathing. Good. Inhale, drop that knee back down to the mat here. Nice work. We're going to step right back into a plank position. Hands beneath the shoulders, balls of the feet beneath the heels. Your one long line from shoulders to heels. Core is engaged. We're feeling that work right away. If you need, drop the knees down to the mat, untuck the toes, but sink the hips down and keep the knees at an angle so you still feel that ab work here. Good. Let's take another deep inhale. Last breath. Inhale. Exhale, bend at the elbows. Let's lower all the way down to the mat and untuck the toes. Inhale, bring the elbows beneath the shoulders, plant the forearms, lift your gaze and torso coming into Sphinx. So first option here, these shoulders are shrugged down, elbows are moving in toward the body, gaze and chest is forward and proud. Release your glutes. Great option. If you want to intensify the stretch a little bit here, coming back down, hands beneath the shoulders. Inhale, press into the hands, lift the torso tall, coming into cobra. So shoulders are shrugged down, elbows are slightly bent. Gaze is forward and proud. We're feeling that decompression in the low spine. Tops of the feet are on the floor. Wherever you find yourself, couple breaths here. Inhale. Exhale, come back down to the mat. Inhale, press on up into a tabletop, but then exhale, sink right into child's pose. Little counter posture for the low back. I'm sure it feels good for you too. Extend those arms, forehead comes down to the floor. And if your forehead does not reach, it can either hover, you can stack fists or arms, or you can use a block to place under the forehead, whatever helps you feel at ease here. And we're just going to take a couple deep breaths here, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling into that low back space, exhaling that breath out. Last deep breath, inhale, exhale. Nice work. We inhale, come on up onto our hands and knees, lower right down onto your belly again. Bring your arms out to a T, bring your right cheek down to the mat. Good. Bring the left hand beneath the shoulder, elbow is sticking up into the air. Bend the left knee so the foot is sticking up in the air. On the exhale, roll onto your right side. Pop that left leg down behind the right leg. Head rests down on the mat here. Good. 8-point shoulder stretch. We're opening up this right shoulder, getting into the heart center. Left hand can remain here on the hip or rest along the low back. That knee is your hinge point. You either open it up or close it down if you want a deeper or less of a stretch. We're really feeling into that bicep, the front of that right shoulder. Ooh, opening up so many great things right now. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, rolling back onto our belly, switching sides here. I'm going to stay where I am so you can see the backside of this posture. So left cheek to the floor, right hand beneath the shoulder, elbow sticks in the air, bend the right knee so the foot is in the air. And then exhale, roll onto the left side, drop that right foot behind the left leg. So now you see that left arm stays extended. Right hand can stay where it is beyond the hip, or now you see it slides along the low back here. It's going to open up the chest and that top shoulder. Knee, it either opens up or closes down, depending on what you need in your body here today. Good. And then we're really feeling that stretch in that left arm, bicep, front of the shoulder. Breathing. And then inhale, go ahead, roll back onto the belly here. Bring the hands beneath the shoulders, and then actually just roll right onto your back here. So flipping around onto the back, we're going to tuck the knees into the chest for a moment, wrap our arms around the legs, give ourselves a little hug, little squeeze. A practice well done. Maybe rock from side to side to get a little roly-poly action in. It's up to you. Nice little low back massage as well. And then when you feel ready, go ahead and drop those soles of the feet down to the floor as we prepare for final relaxation. So you've got lots of options here. You can stay just like this. Many people love this position. If you have props, you can always place them beneath the thighs or the knees to help give a little lift and release that tension on the low back here. Of course, it's an option. Soles of the feet can come together, knees out wide for reclined down angle. You can also extend one leg out, keep the opposite leg in for fallen tree, or extend both legs out for traditional final relaxation. Those arms find a comfortable position. You know what that looks like for you. And then you also have the option of laying on your side or your belly, or you can come back into a seated position. It's really whatever you choose. This is your final relaxation pose, so I invite you to make it so. And as you settle in, feeling into the back side of your body, that specific space that connects, where the body connects with the surface beneath you. And then tuning into the breath. Begin to notice how fast or slow your breath is moving, how deep or shallow. Notice the quality of each breath on your inhales. Quality of each breath on your exhales. Just feel into that gentle rise and fall of your belly, the gentle rise and fall of your chest. Seeing if you can allow yourself just to be present here for a little bit longer. Lead yourself into this space of ease, peace, of stillness. And if the mind gets distracted by thoughts, noises, physical sensations, notice the moment where you've gone away, and just come back to the breath. If it makes sense for you, you can come back to that mantra we used at the beginning of practice. Inhale, I can be. Exhale, vulnerable. Inhale, I can be. Exhale, vulnerable. Remaining here with your breath in whatever way best supports you for just a few more moments here today. I'm going to get quiet for this final part of practice so you can have it to yourself. Please know I'm watching the time. I respect yours. And I will let you out of this posture before the end of practice. So lean back, let go, and just rest right here. The energy of mindfulness helps give us the stability we need to recognize and embrace our difficult emotions and not let ourselves be overwhelmed by them. We can be in touch with the wonders of life around us and the generosity of Mother Earth. And we can recognize the many conditions for our happiness that already exist. Bringing your awareness back to this space, taking a deep inhale through your nose, filling your belly, lungs, and chest with air, before slowly exhaling that breath back out. Taking another deep inhale as you begin to wiggle fingers and toes. Move arms and legs, gently waking your body up. And when it feels right for you, rolling onto one side, pausing there with an arm or a hand beneath your head. It's here that I invite you to bring back to mind your intention or your purpose that you set at the beginning of your practice that answered the question, why am I practicing yoga? Take a deep inhale here, making your way on up into a seated position to close out the practice together with me. So finding a comfortable seat, rooting into your sits bones, sitting up nice and tall. Inhale, bring your shoulders forward and up. Exhale, drop them back and down. Hands find a comfortable position, knees, lap, or heart center. Closing the eyes if you'd like. We take a moment to express gratitude for yet another lovely day here on earth and for our bodies that allow us to do so many things, including yoga. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through this practice today. It was a joy and an honor, and I hope to be able to do so again in the future. The light in me, it sees the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me again for this weekly stretch session with Yoga for Caregivers. Again, my name is Alexis Miller. I'm here every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern, so mark your calendars, set your alarms. You can find Yoga for Caregivers on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube, so make sure to tune in and join us to access all of the resources that volunteers like me are offering. So thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.